Are you a nurse who is considering entrepreneurship? Have you heard about nurse entrepreneurs, but you really don't know what that means? Are you considering it? Are you tired? Are you burnt out, but you're trying to figure out how you can tap into this buzzword that everybody is talking about? Well, today's episode is for you. So first, let's get our introductions out the way. My name is Dr. Kiiyonna Jones. I am owner and founder of Luxe Beauty and Wellness Boutique and Luxe Beauty Academy, and I help healthcare professionals, most likely nurses and nurse practitioners, since that's what I am, get to the bag. My goal is for you to monetize your license. My goal is for you to make a ridiculous amount of money and work a lot less than what we do at the bedside, remove all that burnout, remove all that mental exhaustion, remove all that physical exhaustion, and live your best life. So if you have never been to my channel, thank you. I know my channel is very, very new at this point, but it's jam-packed with value. So if you find this video valuable, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, don't gatekeep, make sure you share it with a friend, because I know us nurses, we definitely stick together. So today's episode, we're going to really dive into nurse entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurship, and kind of figure out why not enough of us are willing to take that leap. I can relate to it because I experience a lot of the challenges that we have when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about that today. First thing I want you to know, you guys, do you know that women are one of the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs? There's actually, right now, as it stands, 42% of businesses are owned by women. Isn't that great? But you know what's even more interesting? We're in the nursing profession, right? We actually have licenses that we obtain by taking a state exam. Yes? But guess what? Guess how many of us are actually entrepreneurs? The last study that studied nurse entrepreneurs was in 2012. And according to that study, less than 2% of nurses, and it didn't stipulate if they were just registered nurses or also including advanced practice nurses, we don't know. But in that study, it said that most nurses were very, very afraid of jumping into entrepreneurship. And it's not surprising to me because have you ever taken a business class in nursing school? Did you ever have anyone who taught you, tell you, and encourage you what's possible for you as far as leveraging your license and monetizing it to make money? Most likely not. You know what's even more interesting is that in the nursing profession, there's about 86% of nurses that are women, yet there's only 2% who's entrepreneurs. I want you guys to sit on that. So why is that? One of the biggest reasons why nurses are not willing to change or have a difficult time making the transition is because they don't see enough of us out there. One thing social media has done is it has provided us the opportunity to see other people, other nurses, but they just seem so different, right? And so if you're not one to be in front of the camera, you don't feel comfortable public speaking, and you don't feel comfortable making, social media content, then where does that leave you? In addition to that, what I seem to find is that a lot of women really are challenged with making investments in their personal development. So I do want to explore that on this video. So the first thing I want you guys to know is being a nurse and having a nursing license gives us an advantage that a lot of other professions do not have. We have a license that we have taken that's state approved that gives us the authority to make decisions and help other people when it comes to their health, when it comes to their wellness, when it comes to advocating for our patients, even when it just comes to the medical field and the nursing profession as a whole. We have such a leg up that a lot of us do not realize because most of our experience is in some type of healthcare setting. So we can't think outside of that healthcare setting to really think like, okay, what can I do? And a lot of times we want to veer towards opening up medical practices or things that are really just kind of narrowly related to our license. And so what I wanted to do is make sure that I tackle that with you because a lot of nurses miss out on a lot of opportunities because we really don't have the ability to see. And when I say see, I don't mean like literally see. I mean our vision is cloudy because that's not what we have been taught as we have went through nursing school. So for me, and I want to tell a little bit about my journey, I started investing in my personal development about 5 years ago, and it was scary. But I want to tell you something, and those who know will know what I'm talking about. As I was, working, I was house soup at this time. It was actually a really good job. I love the people I work with. I love the team. And I just had gotten to the point where I was like, I'm not being pushed enough. Like, I felt like I was existing, but I wasn't living. And I don't know about you, but I am the type of person where I like to always feel challenged and always feel like I'm going to the next level. Like, it's exciting. That's why I chose nursing, because, so many different things we could do. No day is the same. It's never boring. But I felt like I could pretty much do this with my eyes closed. I was still working per diem at hospitals, and I did enjoy that. But even that, there was a cap. And I just felt like I was called to do more. So I started hearing about coaches. And at this time, now, if you hear me say it, you probably are like, okay, I've heard of coaches. But at the time, it was not a big thing. And to pay somebody money to coach you sounded really gimmicky, and like they would take my money. But my fear of being taken advantage of versus my fear of staying where I was, my fear of staying where I was greater. So I said, okay, I'm going to take this chance and see what happens. The first investment I made in myself was $2,500. And that was a lot of money to me back then. And so I made the investment feeling extremely uncomfortable, but also feeling like, if nothing else, I need to get access to information that I just knew I did not have access to. And so this person was actually a mindset coach. And she really helped me unpack a lot of my limiting beliefs, a lot of the thoughts that I had that really weren't my thoughts, but that were seeded in me from my parents and their parents. Work hard, work for 40, 50 years, retire from a good job, a good retirement, that type of thing. And so she actually introduced me to the idea of, it's okay to want more. You don't have to feel guilty for wanting more. She also introduced me to something, and this is the second thing I want to talk to you guys about. Nobody is going to understand your dreams but you. And so this feeling that a lot of us have, where we know we want to do more, but we still settle because we don't see how it's going to happen. We don't have the support system because people don't understand. And we constantly find ourselves expending energy trying to get people to see what we're talking about. That is a huge mistake. If you have been given an idea, a feeling, a desire from whatever you believe spiritually or religiously or whatever, it's yours. So you trying to convince somebody else of it and get them to buy in to what you believe is for you is a huge mistake. Now, most of us as nurses are women, are female, like I said, 86%. And that means that either we are married. If we are in a relationship, we're either married, maybe we have a partnership. And that means that we most likely would need to get the buy-in or feel like we need to get the buy-in of our significant other. That can be a challenge because your significant other may not have the same dream as you. They may not feel that it's a big deal, but you know that you're burnt out. You know that you're tired. You know that you're physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted, and you have to do something else. That is a common experience of nurses. And so what I want you guys to know is that when you are making a decision to either invest in yourself like I did, which I strongly recommend, as a 5-year entrepreneur, I still make investments. Now, a $2,500 investment is pennies because I invest way more in my personal development. Why? Because I have realized that through these investments, now it's calculated, I don't just throw money away, but through these investments, I have become and evolved into the person that I am now. Investing in yourself and in your personal development, just like you did as you decide, once you made the decision you were going to become a nurse, once you do that, It is the cheat code. Just like you go to school to become a nurse, you study, you take clinicals, you do all of that so that at the end you take a test and then you start working. Same thing you have to do if you want to become an entrepreneur and you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out and money trying to figure it out on your own. So my suggestion, and this is something that I want to make sure that I hammer home to you guys, is there is so much value in personal development, especially for those who are still confused and trying to figure out their path, okay? So I want you guys to know as women who are nurses, and oftentimes we are self-sacrificing. If you decide you want to be an entrepreneur, the self-sacrificing has to stop. You have to understand that you are capable and you have the power to become whomever it is you choose to become, and you are worth the investment. This is a conversation I've had with nurses, several nurses, over and over again, and it boils down to us having enough belief in ourselves that we are worth it and that we will succeed. See, as a nurse, that's easy because we are positioned based on the norms and the stereotypes of women, right? Women are carers, women are givers. We sacrifice ourselves a lot for our family. We put our wants and needs on the back burner for our husband or for our kids, right? That's very, very commonplace for us. So that's where we feel comfortable. But when you step into entrepreneurship, now it's time for you to say, I deserve it. I am capable. I am no longer going to sacrifice my wants and needs for others. I am just as valuable as they are. And so that is definitely a challenge, but something that is well worth it. And so the whole point of this video was really just to introduce you to the idea of stepping out into your greatness, becoming an entrepreneur, if that's what you choose to do, becoming an entrepreneur, but also doing it in an efficient way so that you can increase the likelihood of success. Okay, and there are some things you need to do. Invest in yourself, your personal development, believe in yourself. Make sure you are networking with the right people who are very like-minded, not the ones that you are most likely with right now because they don't see it. And then make sure that you are intentional about what you put in to your temple. So that means reading, that means listening to Audible, that means making sure that you are watching the right things on TV. It's just a very intentional life. But us as nurses, we're on the path. Like, it's only a matter of time before that. Again, that was in 2012 when that article was, or that study was done. I'm sure it's greater than 2% by now, but not much greater. But it can change, and you can be one of those change agents should you decide to enter into this space. So again, I just wanted to come on you guys and give you like an impromptu about the value and how much it is necessary for you to invest in yourself, for you to not seek the validation and approval of others for something that has been seeded in you, is to start showing up as the best version of yourself. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, hit that subscribe button if you got some value out of this. Again, if you have nurse friends, nurse practitioner friends, physician friends, anybody in healthcare friends, make sure you share this YouTube channel with them. And then also comment anything below, any questions you have, any feedback I can give you to help you on this journey. I am here. And I also have links to other products in the bio. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.